computer, load up E3 2019.
No popcorn this year.
Listen, last year was a big disappointment. With the companies giving out major details before the showcase even happens, it just leads me to believe that this year might be worse than last year. So let's just get this thing over with.
Loading up E3 2019.
Now let the disappointment begin. Hey, that wasn't that bad. Where'd this popcorn come from? The Electronic Entertainment Expo. I explained all this shit last year. This year, each company had some high stakes going for them. Xbox had to show off the same games from last year, but actually give a goddamn release date for them. Nintendo had to show off a bunch of games they announced like 2 years ago, and then show up some up-and-coming games for 2019. And Sony had to show up. So with all of that, E3 was looking kind of dim this year in terms of how good it would be. I mean, hey, we're still the suckers anyway since we all watched it. So without further ado, let's get over this shit show. Let's see how good it actually was or how decent it was. Starting off with, of course, Sony. Well, looks like Sony failed. Not surprising. So let's see how Xbox did. We can start out with this countdown. Like, I get it, it's referencing games in the background of each number, but I'm still focusing on why they even did this in the first place. It's a gaming Christmas, not a gaming New Year's, Microsoft. And also, you're not Marvel. Don't do this, because it just kind of ruins the surprise of what you'll show off. Like, oh look, there's Battletoads, but we won't see them for another 45 minutes. Anyway, they first announced The Outer Worlds, and it looks pretty interesting in my eyes. The game seems to take a good, evil, or psychopath route, and I'm all for that. Two lads then come up on stage and show off some bleeding edge. The trailer is edited poorly in my opinion, but the characters look cool. We then see some Ori and the Will of the Wisp, now with huge spiders, and a new Minecraft game. Not an update, a whole game based around the style of Minecraft. It's called Minecraft Dungeons, and besides the name and the art style, there seems to be no real connection with it. I mean, it still looks interesting taking on a Diablo style of gameplay, but I don't get why the Minecraft branding had to be with this one. Phil Spencer then does some Phil Spencering, and then we get some footage of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This game looks pretty cool. It's like the true single-player Star Wars experience we've all been waiting for. I'm pretty excited for it, and I'm pretty sure it will be great. Wait a minute, who's developing this? God damn it. Yeah, EA will somehow fuck this up. I'm pretty sure of that. We then get a Blair Witch game that looks too much like Slender, and then we finally get the Cyberpunk 2077 release date. From Keanu Reeves. What?
You're breathtaking.
Spearfarrier. Yeah, it looks great. I like the art style, and it seems to be very tycoon-like. Next up is... Oh, it's Battletoads. Oh, it looks great! I love the animation, I love the idea of online co-op, and oh wait, there's no release day. Shit. RPG Time Legend of Right. I don't get it. We then get a montage of games coming to Game Pass, and an announcement that Game Pass is coming to PC. Why? After that, we get some smaller stuff. Flight Simulator, Age of Empires 2, Wasteland 3, and then Matt Booty, great name, brings out Tim Shafter to talk about Psychonauts 2. While the graphics look a little low res, the rest looks great. We get a new Dragon Ball game that looks the same as any other Dragon Ball game there is, and then there's 12 Minutes. It's about a young lad in a time loop where you have 12 minutes to prevent a tragedy. It gives me a lot of Portal vibes, and that's not a bad thing. Next, we have Way to the Woods, and just from what I've seen, I'm in love. You play as a deer guiding your child home, and it looks great. I want to play this game. We then get a trippy trailer for Gears 5, and while Gears of War is a beloved series, this part drags on for a little bit. Seriously, look, I understand that there is love for this series, but nothing here was really shown about the campaign. We do get some multiplayer stuff, but other than that, that's really it. We got nothing. Way to take it all back, there's Terminators. Easily 10 out of 10. Alright, this is taking a little while to recap, so let's just speed run these announcements. We get a new Elite controller, we see some Dying Light 2, Forza Horizon 4 now has Legos within it, more Gears Pop, State of Decay 2, Phantasy Star Online 2 finally gets localized, Crossfire X exclusive to Xbox, Tale of Arise confuses me, pre-rendered trailer for Borderlands 3 and the Hanson Collection coming to Game Pass, Elden Ring from George R.R. Martin. I mean, I don't know, it looks cool I guess. Phil Spencer talks about Project X Cloud, where you can stream games. I hate it. A bunch of developers talk about the new console codenamed Project Scarlet, and finally, we see the new Halo again, with no gameplay again. Holy shit. That was a lot. But here's the thing. A lot doesn't always equal good. Xbox did have a lot, but was it good? Well, I'd say so. They actually announced some interesting games with release dates. Well, yeah, we saw some of this stuff last year, we didn't get the release dates at that time. Plus, the new stuff here is great. I love Way to the Woods, 12 Minutes, and the fact that Psychonauts is getting a sequel. Some might scoff at the fact that there was no Banjo-Kazooie news, but he wasn't really promised or even leaked for E3. It's no surprise that he wasn't really here. I also like the fact that Microsoft showed off these games as if they were games, so I was able to understand what they were showing me. Bethesda, on the other hand, I'm not even gonna play it for the camera. Bethesda had a terrible press conference. Awful pacing, awful announcement, and I can count what was new on one hand. They open up the show with a bunch of developers talking about how they are gamers too. This would be a nice way to open up the show, except they do it 3 more times, so this officially becomes filler. We then get Pete Hines and Todd Howard catering to the silent crowd and talking about how Fallout 76 was trash at the release. To follow up that, Matt something then talks about an update to a mobile game. Welcome to 90% of this conference, hope you weren't too hyped up. They then announced the same mobile game for Switch, and then 2 boys come out and talk about Fallout 76. A new update that adds NPCs and a new game mode. That is Battle Royale, goddammit. After a bunch of people explain what should have been shown in the trailers, Ghost Warrior Tokyo is then revealed by this lovely lady. She is a treasure, and you should all treasure her, not meme the fuck out of her. See, I'll kill you. I wish I could tell you how the game looks in my eyes, but this is a CGI trailer. It doesn't leave a good impression seeing as it's not in gameplay. They then show this CGI cat fighting a CGI dragon, what I can only assume is a new game. Oh wait, no, it's an update to Elder Scrolls Online. They then show up Commander Keen, a revival of an old IP turned into a mobile game. After more mobile game talk, we get some Rage 2 expansion goodness. I love the TV intro that they went with. It was really the only thing that gave me a smile throughout this conference. Wolfenstein VR is then announced along with a new game entry set in the 1980s called Youngblood. I don't know, it seems interesting. Deathloop. I wish I could tell you what this was about, but they showed no gameplay. I guess it's about 2 people stuck in a loop where they kill each other, but that's all I know. That's all they fucking gave us. Now time for my least favorite announcement, Orion. It's a game streaming service, and they show it that it can play games well through streaming. My problem with this though is that you're demonstrating your own streaming service with no real indication that it's actually being streamed from the host servers. For all we know, this could be the game streaming from a gaming desktop or a gaming laptop or any other fucking thing that's really close by. It looks great. It has a bigger focus on building Doom's universe, and I like that idea. I don't like the dumb collector's edition and the fact that they made this segment drag, but hey, it's still the Doom sequel we want. So yeah, out of that whole thing, one announcement was only good, and even that wasn't all too great. They didn't show it off well because they made that shit drag. It's probably because they knew that Doom was the only thing that can get people hyped up. Well, anyway, since that was a shit show, let's see if Ubisoft can make us proud. Oh wait, I didn't watch it. From what I heard, it was mostly Tom Clancy, and oh, Just Dance is coming back to the Wii. Nice. As for Square, I also didn't watch it. I heard it was well paced, better than last year, and of course Final Fantasy took the stage. My eyes, however, were on that Avengers game. I like how the trailer was able to show a lot without showing anything. Like seriously, do you call this 2 seconds of a Hulk jump gameplay? Also, what is with these character designs? I know they aren't taking them from the movie, something I'll have to get used to, but none of these characters look right. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but Captain America looks more chunky rather than beefy. Okay, but enough of that. It's time for the cream of a crop, the meat of the burger, the Nintendo of E3. It's time for Nintendo's E3. The first thing we see is the Smash character reveal for Hero from Dragon's Quest. Well, this is gonna be a shit show. Look, I have no doubt that Dragon Quest has its fans, but was anyone rooting for a character inclusion this much? Well, that was our second character slot for the Fighter Fact, and if this is how they're gonna start it, I don't think there's gonna be too much to show. Doug Bowser then gets introduced into the world of Nintendo in a very nice way, and then Luigi's Mansion 3. It looks too much like Dark Moon for my taste, but I like the new mechanics being added to the game, and I do have faith that this will show some elements from the original title. We got a Dark Crystal game from Netflix, and while the movie was interesting, this isn't. Link's Awakening, solid inclusions with this game, but those character models still keep me up at night. We see that Trials of Mana gets a localization, with the whole collection being a thing too. Witcher 3 comes to Switch, and it looks like shit. Look, I know the Switch isn't a real powerhouse, but this is one of the games that looks great on anything else. I feel like they could have done a little better here. We see some Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Resident Evil 5 and 6 comes to the Switch, No More Heroes 3, and then, what's this? It looks very indie. Oh wait, it's fucking Contra! This looks horrible for Contra. Why did they choose this route for the series? We got a Contra collection, some more Daemon Ex Machina footage, and then a new game called Danzer Dragoon. I don't know what it is, and I don't think I care. You see, the beginning of this was decent, but now things are starting to slow down a little bit. They really need to pull some jiggy shit to pick themselves back up. We see some more Astral Chain, I mean, I don't know, it looks fine, Empire of Sin, some more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and then Cadence of Hyrule. I wasn't too into this when they first announced it, but after looking at this trailer, it seems pretty good. Mario and Sonic buddy up for the Olympics again, and it seems like they're doing a retro gimmick this year. Next we get... oh wait. Oh shit, it's Animal Crossing! It looks so good and interesting! Fuck, it got delayed! That's it, they're done. That was their biggest game so far, and yet it was reported as delayed for next year. Look, I know healthy work environments are important for game developers. It's what they need to make games and to make them good. But when you reported your game like a little bit when you announced it for 2019 and then reported it as next year, some people are gonna get a little disappointed. We learned that some other titles are coming to the Switch, some being Spyro, Halo Knight, Minecraft Dungeons, and Doom Eternal, and then... Wait, what? Wait, we already got our character. You're telling me there's another one? It's weird, it's like the King K. Rool trailer, but... No! They didn't! That was out of fucking nowhere, but holy shit, Banjo! They did it! They actually fucking did it! Oh my god, he looks so good! That was a good final announcement, a really strong note to end on, almost as good as the Ridley announcement, but here's the thing, it's Nintendo, it's really never over. There's always that one announcement at the end, and this seems Breath of the Wild related. It looks really good for DLC. Actually, it looks like a lot more for DLC. Maybe it's a whole expansion. Heck, I don't even mind if it's both. I'll still buy it. I didn't buy the last DLC. It didn't really interest me too much, but this seems really cool. I will for sure buy this expansion. Nintendo, I love you! But also your Direct wasn't all too great. While yes, those last two announcements could let you win E3 alone, the whole middle just felt like shovelware. I get that a lot of games that were shown people do love, but they were not shown off all too well. If I were to say who did better this year, I would have to say Xbox. They had a lot of games that were shown off well, with well pacing, and they also had Keanu Reeves. That's not to say Nintendo didn't have the goods. They showed off every game that they already announced for this year, but also did have a little extra condiments to make it more savory. But all in all, I think this E3 was pretty decent. It had a good beginning, it had a good ending, but everything in the middle was kind of sucky, you know? I'm really surprised at Xbox. They went in big, and I think it really paid off. Nintendo, on the other hand, while they had some good announcements, they could have done a little bit better, you know? But all in all, I think this was a very decent E3. What about you, computer? What did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, really? What was your favorite announcement?
Fallout Battle Royale.
Okay, that's it. I'm returning you.